It's another beautiful day in Anoka. It can only mean one thing. It's time for another installment of Live and Local. We are at the beautiful Riverfront Memorial Park, where Councilman Sam Scott's going to join us shortly to tell us all about that, along with the Social District Phase 2 coming up. Can't wait to hear from that. We're also going to hear from Lisa Lacasse, who's going to tell us all about the Rum River Dam and Trail projects. Can't wait to hear about those things. We have Brandon Altenwig to tell us about Discover Anoka. And finally, I get to eat food because Virginia Loudon's here from Jenny Bites. It's going to be fantastic. Live and Local, next, now on QCTV. That is QCTV's Live and Local. I'm Tim Anderson, hanging out, enjoying a beautiful day here in Anoka. And I get to hang out with Councilman Sam Scott, who gets to hang with me for the next few minutes to talk about this beautiful place. Councilman, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for inviting me out today, Tim.
So we are here. It's the beautiful Riverfront Memorial Park. There's the nice big stage that's been built right behind us. Tell us a little bit about this process, kind of how it all came together.
Well, thanks for asking. This has been a process long in planning for the city. I believe it started conceptually back in 2009, if you believe it. Largely completed in 2017 without this band shell. We had the stage platform, we have this memorial walk here, completed largely in 2017. And just this past year, we were able to come up with our final revision for selecting the new band shell, and it's about 90% complete today. What you might see between now and the next few months, just a couple little decorative pieces going around the bottom legs over here and a gray granite stone. But we're really excited and proud to have this band shell here to a big piece of what it's going to help with as far as our concerts are concerned is deliver some of that ambience for our concerts in the park, and to replace, we had this really big, beautiful tree, cottonwood that was behind it. It fell down a few years ago in a really bad storm. So this will really help with our performers being able to stay cool and provide a better show, and for our residents to, enjoy what we have to offer as a city.
Do you think this will increase the number of shows we do in the summer here, or what are you kind of hoping to get out of that?
Well, for this year, we'll have scheduled our regular shows on Wednesday evenings in the summertime. What we are hoping, and we might get to this later in the segment here, might increase some of our non-scheduled performances with our busker licensing in the new social district that we have, because this is also a spot for busker performances.
You're a master of television. That's a segue right there. You see how beautiful that is? That's so good. Let's talk about the social district, because we're in year 2 of this pilot program. Tell us a little bit about how year 1 went and kind of what went well, what did you get out of that, what kind of data, and how does it take us into this year?
Sure. Well, year 1 was truly dipping our toes in. We had the opportunity to potentially have it go for the whole summer, but we wanted to get it as right as we could and get a lot of planning and get a lot of buy-in from our local partners, whether it's our local businesses, whether it's the residents that live in the area, and how we're going to police it going forward too, and educate the public on what it means to have a social district being the pilot program for the whole state. So what we ended up doing last year was doing a 1-month trial period, get some of those kinks worked out that were that we couldn't necessarily plan for until we experience it. So at the end of that first month trial period, last fall and coming into the spring, we talked pretty frequently with our partners of what went well, what didn't go well, what can we improve upon, and how can we make this a success? Because once again, it's the trial period for the whole state. That feedback we got back was resoundingly positive. There were comments that were, hey, make sure we watch out for litter. Make sure we watch out for bad actors who might come in and take advantage of the new opportunity we have for the social district to maybe, bring in your own alcohol. Right now, some of the rules are included. You cannot bring your own alcohol into the social district. You have to buy it from a local establishment, but you can bring it anywhere in the boundary within a social district. So it brings us into this year, and what we're going to be learning from this year is how do we fully capitalize on this? Since we are a trial city, let's experiment. So we're going to be trying to work with our local establishments to figure out how does it work best for them and the citizens themselves. What other things can we do to enhance the experience of coming to downtown Anoka? Some of the things we might be looking forward to would be shutting down the street of Jackson Street, maybe for one day over the weekend, for yard games, for entertainers, for just a family outing. And so those are some of the things we can look forward to coming into this year, some experimentation of what other ways can we have this interact with the public, have it enhance the culture and vitality of our city.
I forgot, I'm trying to remember if the Food Truck Festival was working in concert with the district during this time last year, because it felt like there was definitely a together party atmosphere to the place and really had a good vibe to it. I didn't know if those things were connected.
Yes, so this year it will be located within the social district. It'll have to abide by the social district rules. So that is going to be a new feature this year. Last year it didn't come into this exact same time frame for the Food Truck Festival, but we used that festival as kind of a springboard to figure out, hey, how could this work? What are some of the pitfalls that might happen? Let's talk with our police to figure out maybe what are some of the big issues they might have. But they found, and that's one of our biggest events of the year, that even with those thousands of people coming into our town, incidences remained pretty low. A lot of it is maybe a health issue if it's too hot out.
It was hot.
It's not necessarily over-imbibing, you might say. And last fall, when we had our 1 month trial, we found that to also be the case. It wasn't people taking advantage of the situation. They're enjoying what we have. It's very much a sip and stroll mentality.
And you say you've expanded the boundaries a little bit, right? That they're going to change a little this year. So what are the new boundaries then? What does that encompass? What are you looking for there?
Sure, and that kind of gets back into trying to play with what we have as a city, being able to experiment. So last year, as everybody knows, the social district, the boundaries remained north of Main Street. It came all the way up to 111 Harrison here at the event center, down to Main Street, and it stayed in this little tiny space. This year we're expanding to the south side of Main to give our businesses on the south side of Main opportunity to experiment with this as well. And for anyone coming into town, it just makes sense, because when we have our Riverfest, when we have our sidewalk sales, when we have food truck festivals, it's not just this little zone that people stay in and how we design those events to play out. It's really the whole historic downtown area. So that's what we really wanted to expand it to, was to make sure that not only for our big events, but for people who just want to enjoy the park and walk up and down from this plaza down to the new underpass, where we just painted a new mural down there. People could really enjoy what the city has to offer.
Well, now we get to it. The new busker permit opportunities are popping up with this. Explain the busker permit opportunities and kind of how this is going to take shape, and what does that look like as well?
Sure, and then for those who don't know, and it was a phrase I wasn't familiar with.
I don't know it either, I must say. I'm leaning on you here, Councilman. You help me out.
So a busker is an individual or a group of people who are entertainers in various ways. It could be music, it could be dance, it could be comedy, it could be a magician. All kinds of entertainment that might happen on a small scale. And so what we're offering this year was called a busker permit. And we have 6 locations downtown here that you can reserve for free for our local entertainers, and help to enhance some of the vibrancy, some of the culture that you'll find if you come down here to Anoka to enjoy the social district with your family or with your friends.
So that's not just going to be the stage, right? If you're talking about all these other opportunities, they could be street performers, things of that
Exactly.
nature.
So we want to have we have locations located sprinkled along Main Street. We have a couple sprinkled on Jackson Street, and then down to this stage as well. So we'll have, like I said before, our regularly scheduled programming on Wednesdays for our Concerts in the Park series. But outside of that, any other day of the week, if you're an entertainer looking to expand your audience and try something different, Anoka is a great place that I think you'll find a very receptive audience.
Magician, dancer, singer, councilman, you do it all.
Exactly.
I want to thank you for your time telling us about all of this stuff today. It was great having you on Live and Local. Good luck to you.
Well, thank you very much.
Hope it goes well this summer. That's Councilman Sam Scott dropping by, telling us all about what's been going on here in the social district of Anoka. We stopped by Greenhaven Golf Course. It's golf season. I don't know if you know that. It's deep into the golf season already, and there's a lot going on over at Greenhaven Golf Course. So let's take a look and see what they're up to.
Greenhaven Golf Course has been a staple in the historic city of Anoka since 1937. From its beautiful outdoor course to the indoor golf simulator, Greenhaven has it all. Hey, book your next golfing adventure online by visiting their website and then stop into their fully stocked pro shop for all your golfing needs. The Tavern Restaurant is also open, so stop in for a steak or book the banquet room for your next large event. Greenhaven Golf Course is open to the public, so stop in today and check it out. We'll see you out on the fairway.
And we're back already. You can believe that. Time goes fast. Welcome with our next guest already joining us. Lisa Lacasse is here. Lisa Lacasse is working on the West Rum River Trail Project and the Rum River Dam Project. Lisa, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you
Awesome
for
to
having
have you. Yeah, cool. Can you give us a preview of what the West Rum River Trail Project kind of is up to, what it's looking like, and what it's going to look like at the end?
Sure. The West Rum River Trail, which is a little bit of a
Try to say that 5 times
tongue
fast.
twister.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So we originally, when it was conceptualized, it was referred to as the Riverwalk. Back in 2016, we studying the Ferry Street corridor. They came up with this project to turn a public, the basically unused public property on the west side of the river into a public trail system. So what we are working on, going to be building here this summer, is the first phase of probably a multiple phase project as we begin construction along the riverbank. So people will be able to enter the trail system just to the north of the Woodbury House property on Ferry Street, follow the trail down towards the river, and then it'll loop back up to Ferry Street near Walker on the River. And eventually the trail would continue under the Main Street Bridge and connect up here behind us at the dam. So
It's quite a walk, actually.
Yes, and then at some point in the future, our hope is that we would either figure out a way to either build a tunnel under Ferry Street and connect to cross safely so that people can get to the Mississippi River Trail, or even to continue on across the Mississippi River into Champlin. So it's part of a bigger multi-faceted trail system here that we're building in the city.
So was that part of the motivation, was to try to find more connectivity between these cities and these sort of pathways and trying to create more walking spaces in the area?
Yeah, it was that, and also to be able to bring the public into the areas where we have some really valuable cultural resource components in the city, like the amphitheater and the Giddings Gardens and the stone house that people see in the river. They're already attractive components to individuals, and this will allow people to actually get near them and be able to interact with them and see what they are for their beauty and how and learn about the history that they have here in Anoka too. So it's more than just a pedestrian travel, it's also about celebrating our history and our past.
And what will people expect from this once it's completed? Is it obviously scenic views, nice walk paths, but is there something else that they might be expecting when they get to see this thing?
Well, I think it's a different view of Anoka. Once you get down by the river and a little bit of a distance from Ferry Street, you forget that the traffic is even there and traveling on the road. And so that's one of our goals, was to get the pedestrians off of the sidewalk and give them an alternative to pass through the corridor that's scenic, serene, and with the entire project, once complete, and however many years it takes us to get there, the goal is to have a walking loop on both the east and west side of the Rum River, from here at City Hall, Riverfront Memorial Park behind us, all the way down to Aiken Riverside Park, which is fantastic, and it just elevates the community that much more and celebrates the river.
So that's one big project you guys are working on right now. That also brings us to the Rum River Dam project. What's going on with that? Tell us some more about that.
Well, what we're doing currently is studying the dam, taking a look at options and opportunities to make enhancements to the dam for safety and for recreational purposes. Back when the dam was first constructed, it was used for hydropower. And so that's one thing that we've looked at, is whether or not this dam in its current state could be utilized for hydropower generation again, or if there's other creative green energy opportunities that we can harness, like heat pumps or use the source of water for that. And then incorporated with that, as I mentioned, would be the recreational opportunities like river surfing or whitewater rafting course, or some kind of fun activity like that through the dam structure. We're looking at environmental benefits or improvements like a fish ladder in order to reconnect the lower Rum with the upper Rum. And one of the things that's included in that is also a boat passage, or like a lock and dam kind of a feature, where you could actually portage with your boat, not just a canoe, but actually take a pontoon through the lock and get up to the upper dam, or up above the dam, so that now the Mississippi is now a connected component to the rest of the residents upriver of the dam, which has been really isolated since the late 1800s.
That sounds so cool. Are these ideas that come to you from like the public, or is this stuff that in your group you sit around and kind of kick these ideas like, hey, what can we do to beautify this area, or what can we do to try something different? You talked about river surfing, those kinds of ideas. How do those ideas come about?
Some of them come from the community, some of them come from the council members, and and from a staff standpoint, our concern, or our focus on the dam originally was safety, because every spring and fall we have to put boards on the dam to create a recreational pool. And so we were looking at ways to modify that process, and then looking at that process, then it starts kind of unfold into a multi-layer project. And actually, Representative Stevenson is the one that brought the social district, also brought the idea of the river surfing, and something that's popular around the country, growing in popularity, whether it's a natural course that occurs in a river at high or different types, high water seasons, or it's something that's manufactured and man-made. So it's something that we're seriously taking a look at, whether or not this is something viable that Anoka could offer its citizens and be a regional draw, and just enhance Anoka's tourism and things too.
Yeah, so the long-term effects that seem to be there, like you think long-term we could have more people on the water, more people in the surrounding areas, and that only adds something to this experience.
Yeah, more people to enjoy our classic downtown. There's not a lot of cities that have this vibrant downtown that we have, and to be able to incorporate that with the social district, with the downtown feel, with everything that's going on in this corridor, it just helps to bring people into Anoka, support the economy, and to support our local businesses.
What do we think on timetables for some of these projects to be completed? What can we kind of look for to see some of these, kind of the trail come to fruition, to see maybe some of the dam projects come out? What are we looking at? A couple years, 5 years? What's the window?
The phase one of the trail project will be complete by the end of this year, and that is partially paid for by grant, so we have to have it done. So that I was hoping it would be under construction today, but we haven't quite started that project yet. But this summer you'll start to see that come into shape. The dam, we're working on the feasibility report right now. That will be completed probably by the end of the year. It'll give us some guidelines on how we proceed with searching out funding opportunities and options, whether they come through grant or bonding funds or different sources like that, and collaborations with other entities within Anoka County and the state of Minnesota. So long term for the dam, it's probably maybe a year or two out before anything starts to really develop as far as physical things that people can see, different enhancements. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to be working on it behind the scenes for the next several years.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we get to river surfing, You and I are in first time out.
All right.
Is that a deal?
Maybe on an inner tube. Maybe we'll go down on an inner tube. Keep it a little safer.
That's probably better.
More my role. I think.
I'm actually the driver of the boat usually. Is how that works. Lisa, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate you dropping by.
Thank you.
And good luck in all the future projects. Next up, the Aquatic Center. Just opened again for business this season. They are ready to go. I've been in business for a million years, and it's amazing every time you go to the Aquatic Center. Let's check in and see how this year's starting out. Thank you.
The 2024 swimming season is officially here at the Anoka Aquatic Center. Season passes are available to everyone, not just Anoka residents, at $55 for ages 1 to 61 and $30 for seniors 62 and up. We met up with Nikki Jenks at the Aquatic Center to learn about everything new this season.
We opened Memorial Day weekend, so that's Saturday, the 25th, and we are open with limited hours due to school still being in session after school until school officially gets out for Anoka Hennepin. So that Friday after school gets out, we open our full season schedule, and we are open until August 25th this year. Our preseason hours are weekdays 3 to 7, and then on the weekend is 12 to 7, and then starting June 7th, we're open our regular season hours. So during the week, it's typically 11 to 6 due to swimming lessons, and then Fridays are 11 to 8, Saturdays are 12 to 8, and Sundays are 12 to 7. This year at the Aquatic Center, we're offering more umbrellas to rent for folks. A lot of people last year, we did kind of a tester with renting one umbrella, but we just found out it was pretty successful. So people can rent an umbrella for just half the day, either the beginning or the end. They can rent it for a full day. And then our price kind of depends on if you're a season pass holder or not. So we really want to give that extra advantage to our season pass holders and give them a little break on renting things here.
As always, there are great opportunities for swimming lessons for all ages and abilities.
This year we have a lot of options for people for swimming lessons. We have our Jump Back In, which is a week-long, right after school gets out, for kids to kind of have a refresher on swimming lessons, water safety. If they haven't taken swimming lessons over the winter, it's a really good, jump back into the water, remember your skills. And then after that, we start our regular sessions of swimming lessons. We have morning and evenings options for all of our swimming lessons. And then for those that maybe are more competitive swimmers, we do have our ACES program, which is our morning swim club. And all of that information can be found on our website too. So our Little Splashers is a special swim time for anyone, any kids 5 and under, to kind of have that special swim time here in the shallow end without the big kids around, to kind of really get comfortable in the water and be with their parents. Starts on June 15th and goes every other Saturday until our season closes.
For all updates and information about pricing, swimming lessons, and rentals, visit AnokaMinnesota.com under Anoka Parks and Rec for all online resources and purchasing options for birthday parties and day passes.
Pool sounds nice right now. I have to admit it. It's seasonably warm now officially. So thank you to our friends at the Anoka Aquatic Center. We now bring in our next guest here on Live and Local, which is Brandon Altenwig. How you doing, Brandon? Nice to have you here.
Great to be here.
And you are part of Discover Anoka.
That's
now,
right.
For all of us who aren't familiar or
Sure.
maybe are new to the community, tell us a little bit about Discover Anoka and what they do.
Yeah, Discover Anoka is made up of 50 small businesses right here in downtown Anoka, from 1st Avenue to 5th Avenue, from Main Street to Jackson. I'm one of them. I own Amori Antiques right on 2nd Avenue.
So that's what's so great about Anoka, is all of the small businesses that operate in the main part of town. And you guys all get together to kind of promote these businesses kind of as a group?
We do, yeah. I'm the chairman of Discover Anoka, and we meet monthly, and it's all about planning the next event and what's bringing foot traffic to downtown Anoka. We have a variety of events that we have all throughout the year. We just had our Mother's Day stroll, where we sold 400 tickets And the participants went around to 15 stores to gather their Mother's Day gift. It was extremely popular. We do it again in December, our stocking stroll.
That's fantastic. So is that part of the mission then of Discover Anoka, is like, how do we get more people out here? How do we get more people into these smaller businesses? Do we want to build more smaller businesses in the area? Kind of what's the idea?
It really is just bringing people to town. What are we doing to have just a good time in downtown Anoka? Because we've got the social district in play now too, right? So we had Get Lucky in Anoka is another event that we had in March. That one was hugely popular. We've got our sidewalk sale at the end of July. So it's just promoting the businesses that make up Main Street and the surrounding streets. It is just our bubble. Like I said, from First Avenue to Fifth Avenue, you know, a lot of businesses would actually like to be a part of Discover Anoka, but we keep it kind of a close-knit group right in downtown Anoka.
So all of these changes that have come up, obviously this park, the social district that you mentioned, all things that Discover Anoka, I'm assuming, were huge proponents of, huge fans of, and are benefiting from.
Absolutely. You know, I promote the social district as much as I can. I do, you know, a lot. If you already follow the Discover Anoka page on Facebook, well, you can put a face behind it now, because I'm the one who manages it. I'm the one who does all the posts for Discover Anoka. And, you know, we just kind of go down the list and promoting those 50 businesses and what they have to offer, what they bring to the community. You're promoting 3 of them today on your show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And 4 if we count yours.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and now what are the requirements? Obviously, they got to be between First Avenue and Fifth here.
Yeah.
But what are the other kind of requirements that you want to you add to get into this?
Well, there are some requirements. You know, they have to have tangible goods. They have to actually sell something. It can't be a service. So it really is centrally just the retail and the bars and restaurants in downtown Anoka.
And what's coming up? Like, what events are you putting on, and what's Discover Anoka putting on here in the next few weeks, months to kind of promote?
Well, we've got the sidewalk sale that's coming up at the end of July. After that, it's going to be Fab Fest, which is it's a retail promotion. You'll get discounts and maybe some freebies at the retail stores in downtown Anoka. And really just follow the Discover Anoka Facebook page to stay up to date on all the different events that happen throughout the year. Our website too, discoveranoka.com. We've got our event calendar on there as well.
You're a pro at this TV stuff. You're leading me right to the next question. You're doing all of that stuff. So we can find their Facebook page. You can go to discoveranoka.com if you want to learn anything about what is happening in the community. You can also, again, check out your store. I'll give you a chance to plug yourself again here. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm Maury Antiques, right there on 2nd Avenue.
I've spent a lot of time there.
We've been open for 30 years. We sell nostalgia. We'll walk around the store, take a nostalgic stroll. Grandma had it, Mom threw it away, and I bought it back. It's kind of the motto we hear a lot of times.
I feel like I've heard that story several times.
Probably.
That's fantastic. What does a sidewalk sale look like for you then if you're doing that?
Well, you know, it's kind of like a mini flea market, essentially what it is. I've got a bunch of vendors that we just take over 2nd Avenue, really, and just got deals all over the place. So
that's going to be fun. I can't. My gal's in. She's already. I think it's already booked.
Well, and it's
signed
not
up.
just the sidewalk sale is not just Amore either. I mean, it's really all of Main Street is just going to be. Everybody's moving out to the sidewalks, and it's all kinds of deals.
What's the date on that again? As we plug that?
It is. I want to say it's the last Friday and Saturday in July is what it is. I don't want to say the dates because I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, we don't have the calendar in front of us right now. We'll just make it up. It's sometime in July. Come on out. It'll be a great time. When you see a crowded
27th
street,
and
you know where to
28th.
go.
July 27th and 28th, Friday, Saturday.
Fantastic.
Yes.
We're going to be there for it. It's going to be awesome. I hope you enjoy another great summer. Discover Anoka, getting out, doing some fun stuff.
Sure.
Brandon,
hey,
thanks so much for your time.
You bet.
Appreciate that. And you know what? We're going to start promoting some of the businesses. That's going to take us to Our Marketplace, which is a new store that has opened up, highlighting right on Main Street in Anoka. So why don't we check out Our Marketplace and see what they're all about.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration estimates that approximately 8 million metric tons of plastic will end up in oceans every year. One woman is working towards changing these numbers for the better, and she's doing it right here in Anoka.
My name is Michelle. I am a wife, a mother, a daughter, business owner. Welcome into my business, Our Marketplace.
Our Marketplace's mission is to normalize a zero-waste lifestyle by offering package-free and sustainable products.
You're told, I think, every day what a problem that we have with single-use plastics, but there's no solutions presented. So I guess I just really wanted to be a solution to that problem.
Virtually everything in the modern home made with or packaged in plastic can be replaced with reusable products.
You can pretty much buy anything that you really wouldn't need, and it offers consumers a way to buy things in a way to be a little more friendly to the planet. I have laundry detergent, dish soap, dishwasher detergent, lotion, sunscreen, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, basically anything that you would need for your house. I have reusable paper towels. And the really neat thing about those items is they are made right here in Anoka from a local maker.
Michelle's location in the heart of downtown Anoka gives her the opportunity to see real change happening around her every single day.
Well, I don't just think that my community needs this. I think that the world needs this, but I wanted to make sure that I wanted to influence the community that I live in, because that's really where my circle of influence is. It's really exciting to be part of a community of business owners that really want to see everyone else be successful. If I'm successful, it's going to help bring people down, which is going to help, my neighbors be successful, which is going to help their neighbors be successful. I think Anoka is just really unique in that way. I have a lot of open space, and it's my intention to keep it that way. It allows me to be able to do some different, unique things with my space. So just last month, I did a clothing swap. I had so many clothes in here, it was unbelievable.
And a clothing swap is just the beginning.
Having this empty space really helps me do other things besides just be a store to sell things, because that's not where my heart is. My heart is in the community. It is in just trying to make an impact. I'm not in this to make a profit. I'm in this to really just make a difference.
And back again on Live and Local. How's everybody doing after we just visited Our Marketplace? Time to talk about another Discover Anoka business, and we're talking food, so this is right in my wheelhouse right here. We're talking Ginny Bites, joined by Virginia Loudon. Hi, Virginia. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Thanks for joining us today. You're in your new location in downtown Anoka. How's it been going?
It's been amazing. Like a long, long journey. It's like finally all fell into place.
Oh,
yeah.
I was just there last Sunday. First time for me. What a cool spot right there on like First Avenue, right over the bridge. What a cool spot to go to. A little bit more about Ginny Bites, kind of how it got started, and what we can expect when we go in.
Well, I started out as a cottage foods producer through the Minnesota Department of Agriculture, so I baked from home for 8 years. And it just got to the point where I was ready to take that next step. So I was keeping my eyes open, waiting my turn for a spot with a footprint in Anoka, and finally an opportunity presented itself, so I took it.
So you've been baking at home,
yeah,
and you were developing, I'm assuming, all these recipes and ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Did these come kind of passed down to you, or you were sitting there kind of in the lab putting all these together every day?
There's some things are passed down, and some things you just learn by hanging out with your elders and cooking with them as a child. And then sometimes you just have to go, down the Google rabbit hole, find recipes that kind of fit your need, and then tweak them. So it's kind of a mix.
What I liked about your place is it talks about how it's a Southern style bakery. Yeah. So what is a Southern style bakery? What's different from you versus another bakery?
Well, I was born in the South. I was born in Texas, and then I was raised
between
Minnesota and Louisiana. I had one parent here, one parent there. So I spent my life going back and forth. So I have a love of both cultures, both food, right? And so my goal when I opened the bakery was to think, if I was to go down and hang out with my grandmother, or if I was to go visit my great aunt Dot and Uncle Elvis down in Texas, what kind of things would they make for me that not everybody has around here? Because there's already bakeries in Anoka, but you have to set yourself apart. And so I just try to steer myself towards like that good old-fashioned grandma baking.
Love that. Hey, so let's talk about that. What do we have in the box here today?
Well, I brought just a little variety of some of our, more popular items. For example, and here's silverware.
Oh,
so
I love
you're
it.
gonna need one of
Yes.
those.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I have the Louisiana Crunch Cake.
I had this.
This is what you got?
This is great. Yeah,
Okay.
because I was recommended to try this. This is phenomenal. I
Yeah.
love this cake.
So it's a vanilla almond coconut cake, and typically it's like in a whole bundt cake, but there's something special about getting your own little cake, and so we do them in smaller sizes, so you can get a whole one to yourself, and you don't even have to share if you
Yeah,
don't
the
want
wife
to.
was nice enough to give me one bite, and then she took the rest of it for herself.
Yeah, that's how it works.
It's really good. I loved it. What I loved about it is that it wasn't an overly sweet cake, and sometimes it just can be a little too much for you. But that one is perfect.
Totally.
Do we
And
get to
then
try this?
You do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Let's do this, if that's all right.
And I brought extra forks so the crew can have some later too.
Yeah. That's where it's at right there. I love that.
And then I have these cream cheese crinkle cookies, which is actually just a cookie I really liked, and we made them opening weekend, and we just sell them constantly. So we're always making the cream cheese crinkle cookies.
Cream cheese crinkle cookies.
And then the Kentucky Derby pie is one of our best sellers, which I love pecan pie. If you're from the South, you love pecan pie. But this typically is made with bourbon and chocolate. I actually use Jim Beam bourbon cream because I like that creaminess added to the filling, not just the straight bourbon flavor.
All right, I got to try this too.
Yes.
That looks amazing.
So that's this one, and then this is just buttermilk pie. Just again, a good old-fashioned custard,
that kind of
grandma
classic
style
Southern,
pie.
right?
Yes.
Is the buttermilk pie, because you don't really get one of those up here very often.
I use a lot of buttermilk in the bakery.
All right, I have to try this. So everybody's got to stay with me here on the show. Sorry, I get to eat for you. That's kind of my thing.
You have to make yummy noises.
That is fantastic.
Thank
you kidding me? I would have like 20 of those right now.
I don't recommend.
Oh, bad idea. Never mind. Strike that. I did not say that. You have got a food truck coming up. Or a food truck that's in the process. Tell us a little bit about that. What's going on?
So when I was waiting my turn for a space in Anoka, last summer I bought a food trailer. And so we had season 1. It went really well. I learned a ton. And now this year I'm trying to gear up to get season 2 started, but as of this morning there's been a little hiccup in my plan. I know, so in the next 24 to 48 hours I should have a better handle on if and what and when will be happening with the food trailer this summer. That's the one thing as a small business owner, you buy something used or you take over something a certain way and a code has changed here or a law has changed there and you just have to roll with the punches.
Sure. So we will expect this trailer to be up and running at some point, we hope pretty soon.
I'm hopeful.
Are you hoping to bring the trailer to different parts of the city or are you looking to expand it out even further?
At first, I started with Anoka last year. Anoka's home. Anoka's what I love. It's where my people are. So I was hoping to expand that this year. But again, with the hiccup from this morning, time will tell.
Well, I won't make those. I won't let those hiccups come in.
Yeah.
We won't advertise them too much here on the program. But where can people find you? And is there a website, socials? Where can they come see you?
So my storefront is right on Main Street. Second shop in from the corner of First and Main on the south side. And then I do have a website, ginnybites.com. But you can email me, you can message me on Facebook, you can do all those things, but I think there's something super precious and super priceless about real life interactions. So I just come visit me.
Yeah,
come see me at the
there.
bakery.
You're there all the time.
I'm there a lot.
Yes. And so if you want to come in, say hi to Virginia. You got to try the buttermilk pie here. Holy smoke, is that amazing? And the Kentucky Derby pie. Like I said, I'd probably take all of that right now. I'm not even going to let Ryan in the truck have any of that. That's absurd. He doesn't get it. Thank you so much for dropping by, and thanks for sharing some of this with us. Anything else that we should throw out there for you to promote what's going on?
No, I'm just tickled to be invited.
I couldn't, it's the best ever. You can come hang out with me anytime you want.
Okay.
You come call games with me in the fall. That would be awesome. Thanks so much, Virginia.
Thank
Appreciate you so much. Hey, another store in the area that's opening up right now on Main Street is Favorite Things. You might recognize them formerly as White Owl, but now they are Favorite Things, so let's check them out here in this next video.
Each store in downtown Anoka has their own unique niche to it.
Hi, I'm Gina Schupanitz, and we are at Favorite Things in downtown Anoka on Main Street. The business has been here for probably 10 or 12 years, and I just bought it 2 years ago. When I bought it 2 years ago, it was actually called the White Owl, and just this past spring or past February, I renamed the business to Favorite Things. So the business has been here a long time, and it's got a long standing in the community and just a lot of loyal customers to the store.
And those customers come back for a reason. The store is a treasure trove of delightful finds, from unique furniture to stylish women's apparel, sparkling jewelry to charming gifts. It has something for everyone.
I don't know if I could pick one favorite thing in the store. I really try to find things that people are going to like and that people will think are their favorite things. Right now we have a lot of seasonal items in the store. We've got wind chimes and our rain chains, which are super popular. People love them for their outdoor garden areas and their patios. They make wonderful gift items. And then, during the seasons we change out the decor too. So every season we have new items. So in the fall, you'll see a lot of fall decor. And then, of course, during the holidays, this store becomes just a mecca of Christmas items. So I would say if you haven't shopped here, make sure you come back and check it out each season because you definitely will see something new every time you come in.
Favorite Things is also participating in the Anoka Social District, so customers can enjoy their drinks, socialize with friends, and shop in the store.
The Anoka community is thriving. The Chamber of Commerce here and the Discover Anoka group do a fantastic job with helping to promote the downtown area and the small businesses. And almost every month of the year we have an event here in town which brings in a lot of customers and just brings in a lot of new people to the city, and it just helps the small businesses thrive. Yeah. I want people to come here and say, oh my God, I'm looking for this item and I want to give it to a friend of mine because it's an item that I love. So that's kind of what I try to specialize in.
So next time you're in Anoka, I definitely make a point to stop by and see what catches your eye at Favorite Things.
Well, that'll wrap things up here today on Live and Local. I want to thank our guests today, Councilman Sam Scott, Lisa Lacoste, Brandon Altenweg, and Virginia Loudon for dropping by and talking with us about all the great things going on here in the city of Anoka. I want to also thank the good folks here for letting us hang out at this beautiful Riverfront Memorial Park and the new stage that is being built right behind us. It's been a fun time. I want to thank our QCTV crew who have done excellent work on this program. We've won 6 tellies, including 1 for Live and Local. They're not going to win one for this one, but they've won one for other ones, and that's kind of the point, right? So there's that. There's all kinds of stuff coming up on QCTV. Graduation coverage on the horizon. That's right, school's out, summer's coming. I got the skip debate class today. That was sweet. Thank you for that. But the graduation for Anoka is coming up on June 3rd, weather permitting, and the weather's looking better. So we can't wait to see that one. And we also have all the great sports. We have summer sports coming up. And of course, we're just a few months away from football, soccer, volleyball, you name it. All the good stuff that our QCTV crew puts on for you during the course of the week and during the course of the school year. Want to thank them. Want to thanks to Anoka for letting us host this edition of Live and Local. I'm Tim Anderson, and we'll see you next time.